I pulled up to the Meridian Ballroom in a Tom Ford suit with a Tiffany box in my pocket and a speech ready. Sorry I'm late, happy birthday, you're amazing. Instead, I walked into a punchline. Guests were already streaming out, laughing. Jessica Hartwell smirked, Mr. Always Late, on brand. Inside the lobby, my wife, Clara, stood in a silver dress, hand in hand with Adrian Blackstone from marketing. She didn't look shocked or guilty. She smirked. "Oh, honey," she said, loud enough for the marble to echo. "Didn't you get my text? You weren't invited." I checked. No text. Just yesterday's reminder to pick up her dry cleaning. Adrian offered the kind of apology people give when they're enjoying themselves. "Tonight's for Clara's real friends." I didn't give them the scene they'd rehearsed. I turned, handed the valet my ticket, and left. Sometimes the sharpest blade is silence. Back in my office, my sanctuary with the biometric drawer, I laid out the receipts of our marriage. I own 90% of Extravagant technologies, my algorithms, my patents, my money. I'd bankrolled the $50,000 party that had just erased me from my own life. So I did what I do best, executed. First, Wanderlust Travel, Clara's business concierge. Pending. 2 weeks in the Maldives, 4 seasons private island, $120,000. Guest names, Clara Henderson and Adrian Blackstone. Cancel, deposit forfeited, confirmed. Next, the party invoices. Catering, $18,000. Flowers, $8,000. Ballroom, $12,000. Stop payments. Services not rendered as agreed. Then her platinum corporate Amex. In 6 months, she'd spent $237,000, promise rings and all. I suspended the card and ordered a full transaction report. Finally, the warhead. Clarigen's operational account, $157 million. As majority shareholder and primary account holder, I locked the funding pool under an executive override. The screen flashed, access restricted to primary account holder only. I poured a Macallan 25 and waited for the sirens. They started at 10:30 p.m. Clara, Adrian, the CFO, board members, voicemails sliding from arrogant to begging. I put my phone face down and slept like I hadn't in months. At dawn, 53 missed calls. By mid-morning, my doorman buzzed up a frantic visitor, Rena, Clara's assistant, hair wrecked, voice shaking, payroll frozen, vendors angry, investor deck stranded. Clara's card declined at Starbucks. "What will it take?" she asked. I wrote the list. Deliver by hand, signature required. 24 hours, not a minute more. That night, a different knock. Clara, smudged makeup, last night clothes. The queen without a throne. "I didn't think you'd actually do this," she said. "You didn't think," I said. "That's the problem." She offered apologies. Promised to end things with Adrian. Said the party was a mistake. I told her the truth. It wasn't a mistake. It was choreography. Then I asked about my terms. "They're unreasonable," she whispered. "You're asking me to give up everything I worked for." "Correction," I said. "Everything I built while you played CEO for the cameras." She broke. "I'll sign." "Not because I'm angry," I said. "Because you tell the truth. To me and publicly." Friday, 9 a.m., boardroom. Same skyline, different gravity. I took the head seat I'd been avoiding for years. "Effective immediately," I said. "Clara resigns as CEO. Adrian Blackstone is terminated without severance. I'm assuming CEO, 2 permanent board seats, and a new role, Financial Oversight Director, with veto power over any spend above $10,000. Silence. Then paper. Clara signed where I pointed. Resignations, NDAs, non-compete, media restrictions, repayment terms. She also signed the clause that mattered most. She would repay $157 million to the company in structured installments over 3 years, interest-free contingent on full compliance. One missed clause, and it all came due at once. We issued the press release. I lifted the funding freeze, Operations hummed again, under new rules. Revenge is satisfying for about a day. Building something better lasts. 2 weeks later, I was in a Brooklyn warehouse at Brightlayer AI. Exposed brick, whiteboards, real work. The founder, Laya Chun, 26 and terrifyingly smart, walked me through adaptive learning models that made most AI look like a calculator. How much to scale? I asked. 12 million, she said, bracing for rejection. I offered 20 for 40% and a board seat, plus my time. She said yes. For the first time in months, the excitement in my chest wasn't from burning something down. It was from lighting something up. Then came the other fire I needed to start, the truth. Clara and I met in a quiet cafe to draft her statement. Her first pass read like couples therapy. PR, shared vision, mutual respect, 0 facts. We rewrote it, clean and unvarnished. While I've been the face of Extravagant, the foundational vision, core algorithms, patents, and financial. Backing came from my husband, Marcus Henderson. I failed to properly credit him and allowed personal choices to compromise professional standards. Effective immediately, I'm stepping down. Marcus assumes the CEO role. It went live at 8 a.m. By 9, my phone was a switchboard. By 10:15, Laya called, "TechCrunch is calling you the silent genius." The industry recalibrated. Think pieces bloomed about hidden technical founders. I didn't need victory laps. I needed the record set straight. It was. 6 months later, I'd traded the penthouse for a sunlit Upper West Side apartment. 2 bedrooms, no marble, no staff, no staged life. I taught a graduate seminar at Columbia, mentored founders, and watched Brightlayer land 3 major clients. I slept. I read books I chose. I made coffee on counters I didn't have to insure. A FedEx envelope arrived with Clara's handwriting. She'd moved to Portland, working at a nonprofit teaching tech to underserved communities. I finally understand the difference between being famous and being worthwhile, she wrote. She'd seen a gossip piece about me being engaged to an NYU professor, news to me. But the point stood. I was ready to want something real again. I folded the letter and put it away. Not as a keepsake, more like a file marked closed. Here's what I learned. You can be erased at your own party if you hand someone your pen. You can also take the pen back, quietly, legally, decisively, and write a better story. The boardroom win was nice. The truth going public was necessary. But the best part wasn't any of that. It was the morning light in a smaller place. The work that matters. The freedom to choose who I am, without an audience, without permission. The war ended. I didn't just win. I walked away with something better, my life. For Ask, ChatGPT.